Alright guys and gals, this is Northman and we are back with some more Tarkov. This time around the Vector 9mm. This gun's actually pretty fun. This first few clips, I had an issue with my recording software and I didn't get the actual audio recorded. So no audio here for the first game or so that's being shown. But this thing is a ton of fun, good at decent ranges and good close up. Actually, I pretty much was dropping people straight away with most of my shots. It is a laser beam. This thing is insane. Even hipfire, you can see right there, just nailed him in the head. And then you'll actually see right here when I stream it, you can see it's almost no variation up and down. This thing is amazing. Now the cool thing about this too is it can actually take barrel attachments, so you can suppress it and you can actually throw on a muzzle device to reduce that overall recoil. It does actually have base stats more recoil than the ump in the horizontal direction. About half vertical the recoil though, so it's important to keep that in mind. You can mod this more with the barrel attachment and then throw on a foregrip, and this thing does amazing. I gotta say, I've had a ridiculous number of hits with this, quite a few kills as well, and honestly right now it's one of my favorite ones. I still would put it about even with the MP5 SD. Until we start seeing more changes to it. I don't know if they're going to be adding some more stock options. I know there's a few different ones up for the actual Vector in real life. May be able to get even better, but that MP5 SD, it's an overall good gun. This is pretty much right neck and neck with it. It's a ton of fun. The fire rate's awesome, and as far as an MP9 or anything like that, it's pretty comparable, I would say, usage-wise. The MP9, I think, does have a little bit faster fire rate. At about 1100 RPM, the MP9N definitely does. Actually looking at it, the MP9 has 900, so it's a little bit faster than your base MP9, but not much faster. And then the MP9N beats it out. Faster than MPX, faster than the P90, and all around, I think it's that speed's going to be pretty important. The 2-round burst is pretty nice as well. It's a ton of fun to use this gun, actually, which is the main reason why it's on my top ones. Really, that 2-round burst, you can very accurately put shots on. And with the different 9mm rounds, you can do quite a bit of damage. Been using a bit of Quake Maker with it, and that stuff is insane. We had one raid where I was putting, I think at the end of it, it was over 100 hits on these guys, and we figured they had some decent armor, at least class 4, because they absorbed like 1,000 damage to armor, and I did 800 to them, so they still survived, except for one guy who flanked around and got Carl, but I was able to get him, thankfully. This thing is an insane laser beam at most ranges, and it's a ton of fun. I haven't used the 45 yet. I do have one, but I can't buy mags for it, and I'm not going to run the 13 rounders. Overall, I would say this gun is definitely one you should be using, definitely one you should try out at the very least. And I kind of like running it with a hollow graphic and pretty much any of the foregrips. I think I've mostly been using an RK4 or the stubby grip. Really, the Knight's Armament to get some ergo is a good option as well. The best thing about this is that it is just almost no vertical recoil, and if you can control your horizontal, you're pretty much guaranteeing a ton of shots on target. And frankly, with 9x19, that's really all you need in most situations. Really be interesting to see once you start getting into the AP rounds how this performs, especially later on in the wipe. Really, if you're gonna leg meta with this, it's a pretty good option using Quake Maker. And then further, I would say that the actual fun part of this is laser beaming at people's face from just hundreds of yards away. You have to lob them still because it's 9mm, but you can very easily just nail people with it. And close quarter, it's super good. The biggest downfall of this gun is that fire rate. You have to carry in hundreds of rounds. I think normally I come in with a couple 50s and then 5 33 round mags, as well as an extra 200 to 300 rounds in my pockets, bag, and gamma. So you're gonna eat ammo like no other gun, just because it's crazy fast. The interesting thing, I guess, is if you're used to the PPSH or the MP9N, you're already expecting that. So kind of anticipate it. Single shot fire, I don't really recommend with this too much just because you are using that 9x19, which doesn't have as much takedown power.
Oh, I see him.
The ump is going to be better for that, and that's where I think the ump wins out in mid-range over
He's
most of the other
underneath the
SMGs.
stairs.
But this thing pretty much is an all-rounder, and I highly recommend it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you on the next one.
He's